Hello, welcome along to the channel. Now we're going back to the Vauxhall Corsa because it's actually worked its way through quite a few family members. It's now on to my youngest daughter, who thankfully has just passed her driving test, so well done, Leah. But we have a bit of a problem. My other daughter, my eldest daughter, decided to overload the speakers over the years. So I've got some replacement speakers, a replacement radio, and we're going to take a look and see how difficult it is to swap the speakers out in a 2010 Vauxhall Corsa. Here we go. You'll see there's already a missing radio. We do have a bezel which I bought a while ago, which is lucky. I'll show you in a second. I've also taken the glove box off because it's easier. It lets me get at this side panel and also just move things around, get at the wiring, that kind of thing. There has already been an aftermarket radio in here, so it's already got the converter connector to the pretty standard radio. There's reverse camera input as well, and there's the antenna connector. And I think that's about it. It's just a lot of extra wires in there which aren't too much of a problem. Like I say, I've got that panel off because it does make it a little bit easier, but let me show you what I've got in the pack. So I ordered a relatively cheap radio, but it's a touch screen with USB aux in. It takes a memory card, and it's got the standard connections on the back. What does it have? It has those two, which are the regular ones. Fuse. We've got left out, right out, V out, V out, cam in, and I'm not CVB in, I think. There's the antenna, and there's another USB if you want to hide a USB cable away somewhere. So that's our little head unit that we got. Now that came with the connectors, but they always come just with wires, which isn't very good. So buy a kit like the one that's already in the car to convert it for your individual car. It comes with what looks like a steering attach remote control. Not quite sure how legal that is to use, to be honest. So we've got that. Now you will notice though, there is no cage. This is something that's really annoying on the cheap radios. There's no fitting cage, so that's going to be a bit of a problem on how to fasten this securely in. You might need to work that out. But the main reason for doing this was the speakers that I've ordered. These speakers, and there's actually a fitting kit as well for it, because this was bought specifically for this car, and they're supposed to be similar to the speakers that are already in the car. Well, that should be okay. So 300 watt peak power, 30 watt RMS, so they're not anything special, but they should do the job nicely. We're obviously going to need to take the door card off to get at the speakers, because you get at them from the back, if I remember rightly. So I think that's going to be the next job to do, to work out how to swap the speakers. This 2010 Corsa. Now it'll be hanging along the top, but if we go around the sides, yeah, we can see pretty standard on Corsas, those Torques. So we've got one there, we've got another one there, and that looks like it. So it looks like if we undo that one, we'll undo that one, we should then be able to just lift and unhook the door card, which should be alright. Thought I'd show you the three I use. Now this is a plastic chisel. It's really good for doing things like this, getting up inside. Just an orange flat pry tool. It's got a little lip on the end. And then this, be a bit more careful with this because this is metal, but this is actually a panel clip remover. So I'm going to go in. Now I wonder if there's another one hiding somewhere in this panel. There is quite often one hiding somewhere around here, possibly behind these panels. If these are removable, that doesn't seem to be moving. What about this? Does this pop off? Possibly. That does look like it just pops off. I'm trying to do it carefully so it doesn't damage any of the retaining clips. There we go. Let me show you it. So it goes on like that. It's obviously a clip that holds it there, and then these hold it in place. Now I've got access to the switch, and I think I can see, yeah, there's another couple of bolts in there. So let's undo those. That's that one undone. Now this one, you can see, is at the back there. So we need the window switch out, and there's a little tab here. So if I push that tab in, I should, there we go, be able to pop the window switch up. There'll be another one on this side. I need to get in with the screwdriver and just push that tab in. There we go. See the two metal tabs either side. That pops the window switch out. That gives us access. There we go. I think this is the last one holding it in. Oh, actually, no, it's not. Just noticed a little panel there, so we'll pop that open as well. Those are now all out. I'm hoping. There we go. The whole thing can pop out, and actually, if I disconnect this connector, which I think I might have just broken the button, which may be a bit of a problem. I'm hoping not. But this connector doesn't look like it's got a little tab or anything. That connector doesn't want to come out, does it? I'll show you. I'm hoping I've not just damaged the window switch. It does look like there's a tab there, but I can't really reach it. Let me get a thin screwdriver, see if that'll do it. The connector out. It does slightly have press fits. It also has this little bump here which does depress a little bit. It's quite difficult to do. The good news is I think just putting that piece back on, the window switch just does look okay, so I don't think I've damaged that. And now the whole door card can come off. Oh, there's the window open lever. So let's just, not the window open, that's the door release. Let's just undo that. And now you can see the whole door card comes free, because in this case the speakers are actually attached to the door, other than the small tweeter, which looks like it clips in here. Now whether that's damaged or not, I'm not sure. Hopefully that'll just clip back into place, but we can move the door card out the way now, and we can focus on our speaker, which looks fairly straightforward. 3 torques, and we can get that out. Actually, whilst I'm undoing it, you can probably see why the speaker's not working properly. I don't know if it's actually age that's done this, but that is not going to be working well at all. does look like it's glued in a little bit as well. So I think I'm going to have to prise it. There we go. And then the connector. Now this is just a squeeze fit. There we go. There's the old speaker. You can get that out. Let's take a look at our new ones. Now I just bought these off eBay. Nothing special. Not sponsored or anything like that. Let's just have a look and see what we've got and compare them to the original. It looks like we've got some fitting brackets, some wires. Oh no, there's a bit of a pain. This is supposed to be a fitting kit for a Vauxhall Corsa. I can see regular connectors on there. That is not the connectors to go with a Vauxhall Corsa. I don't think the only wires we've got are these, which are the ones that plug on, and a little bit of wire. So they're not going to plug straight into the Corsa. The only other thing is this connects kit. Now I can't see any connectors in the pack, but let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Nope, they're just fitting bezels for them. So unfortunately, Mr. eBay man, you have not supplied what you need to fit this to a Corsa. Now I've had to kind of piece this together as a bit of a jigsaw. No instructions, obviously. Now I think what we do is we rest those in there, and you'll see they kind of line up. I say kind of. Now those clips won't actually fit because there's nowhere for them to fasten, so I'm going to assume that all we do is we screw these screws into the plastic and allow it to kind of self-tap, and I think that's at least going to hold it in the bracket, which will then fit back onto the door card. It's all just not very good, but then I guess that's cheap, isn't it? That's those in. They don't really screw in very tight, but I think that's going to hold it. That's what we kind of want. Now I need to work out the wiring. Now I was looking at this. The connector on the original is kind of built into the plastic. I was hoping I might be able to remove it and use it, but it's kind of integrated. So I think what I'll have to do is just simply tap into the two wires, just bridge them off and use these little clip wires to fasten them on, which isn't a very good way of doing it, but it'll certainly work. Probably not the tidiest or the neatest way of doing it, but I find that that's going to work. I've already tested it with the multimeter to make sure that the wires are connected and chopped in okay, so I think that's going to do. I can now try and fit the new speaker into place. I'm going to have to run the cables behind it actually, because that's going to fit flush, and of course the connector's at the back, so I need to find a, maybe just pass it, well I don't want to damage the membrane layer. See if I can pass it through this rubber grommet back inside so it's out of the way. I'll do that and then we'll try putting the speaker in. need to try and line it up so it fits, and then screw it in place. There we go, fastened in place, and I think that looks okay. Hopefully that's going to fit nicely. It does look about the same depth, so it should be fine. And now I think we can get the door back on. And putting it back together, you just clip each of the sides in by kind of pushing, and then screw each of the Torques back in again. And I'm going to plug the window switch back in, put the little panel on, and that's this side done. Then we repeat it over on the driver's side. Now that's the passenger door and the driver door done. On to fitting the radio, and the problem is that this radio did not come with a cage, so if you're ordering one of these, make sure you order it with a cage that's compatible with a Vauxhall Corsa. Now what I think I'm going to be able to do is bolt in on the side like that, and hopefully it's going to hold it until I can order a cage and get it done properly. So I'm just going to put it in as is. Now if you need it, there's the wiring diagram, but as the connectors are already in this car, we should be okay. All I'm going to do is plug in the reversing camera input. There's also a microphone connector for hands-free phone calls as well. I'm going to plug that in, plug the other connectors in, and let's try fitting it and see how it fits. Well, there we go. Better turn that off so I don't get copyright. You can see it's fitted, it's secure-ish. It doesn't have a cage, but what I've done is I've put a couple of bolts that should hold it in place. It's not a bad little radio. I mean, the touchscreen is occasionally a bit jittery, but it seems to do everything you want. It actually has phone link, and it looks like it's got CarPlay. That USB socket on the back, I think, would be quite good with that. I think you can choose what you want it to do. Obviously join it up with Bluetooth, and it should then let you onto your phone. There's your Bluetooth phone connect controls. So it's actually not bad, and I think this radio was about £30, something like that, the kit, which isn't bad at all really. So there we are. It's fitted, the speakers are in and working, so if you need to do the same thing to your Corsa, there you go. It's kind of a way of doing it. As usual, it's my way of doing things, not necessarily the right way, but I hope it's been useful, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.